Gaming Gladiators. See, nothing too surprising. Respect's going to be able to get out of the map, and
Yeah.
I'm
Good.
just going to say maybe drop an Observer, but he's got double sentry, so no early stuff going on. Maybe a late smoke from Gaming. Solid info. Big tree. Just scouts out 5 heroes.
It's scouting out 5 heroes. Respect was also making sure, sorry, not Respect. Chira Jr. was also making sure to just walk it barely underneath the tower range to scout out if there were any observer wards there. So nice little micro, didn't end up giving up anything. And Quinn eventually is going to be able to pop down an observer ward on the 1W side of the map. So to me, the way this first, 10 minutes of the game is going to go is going to be dependent on A, how well does Chira Jr. go in lane, and can he get into his ultimate to be able to make a rotation onto Ace and look to kind of hinder him somewhat, as well as if you are able to get into those earlier into an early point in the Wrath of Nature, you can shove out lanes very effectively, and you can make a lot of these moves that Gaming are trying to do a bit more obvious, right? Because if there's creeps hitting a tower and no one's addressing them, it's clear that they're going for some sort of smoke.
Okay. Eyes on Chira Jr. and how this Nature's Prophet is going to be able to go. He's already got the treads leveled up, sorry, queued up. And you see how this Ironwood tree is able to perform. What do we think of the Queen of Pain as well? Did get some slight buffs in regards to, I think it was the Fassive. I don't even know. Masochist, I think. So how do we feel like this hero is currently in the meta? I've seen some other people try and experiment a little bit with pubs, feeling like it might be a little bit more viable.
I like the hero overall. Again, I feel like it did address a lot of what Gaming were lacking in at the time, which was damage. And, if you were looking to try and throw back some damage going the other way when they are trying to go for this Death Ball, something like the Queen of Pain that has the bondage innate ability, it's got a bit of a return damage coming through as well. So you can afford to play a little bit more aggressively, I could say.
Top lane, of course, with Sellers Chen. How do we feel about this as well? He's gone for the Seder convert. Is this... Do we feel like there's many that he could have chosen for? Or at the moment, Chen, is there only kind of a couple, or this one in particular that you can go for?
I like this one in particular, just because it's going to make spamming out your abilities a whole lot easier with that mana regeneration. Also, going up against Sweden Strong, you just want to be mana burning the Weaver, because if it's a support Weaver without mana, not really doing all that much. The change to making his level 2 incredibly busted, right? Having Geminate Attack and Swarm and Shakuchi was way too good previously. So now that you don't get all 3 at level 2, if he's got no mana, then you're feeling pretty happy.
Lastly, bottom lane, we see a bit of a brawl going between Respect and Tofu. Would you say this is a little bit more favored for the Enchantress? No, it seems like sometimes Rubik can have a bit of a difficulty with trading versus especially supports that have some way to be able to get a summon.
Yeah, not even just the summon, right? But also just the heal that you get off the back of it as well, right? The reduced damage coming, of course, through the Fade Bolt isn't going to be quite as impactful anymore. So I think, in general, both teams are going to be pretty happy with just sitting back and farming. My eyes are really just on this mid lane. Like I said, Chira Jr. is going to be the key for how 1W are going to be able to potentially open up this game. I wonder if he might even go for a TP back to base pretty soon as well, because he's sitting kind of low. And I don't know if Quinn actually wants to go for like a Shadow Strike build, right? I know you mentioned that, with being able to go back to base, you kind of nullify that, but it doesn't really provide the damage that you need from the early game, right? I think he's just going to be a whole lot more focused on spamming out these waves of the Scream of Pain and enabling himself to be able to make these rotations and be those damage dealers once the fights break out.
First little objective of the game, we do see the Lotus down bottom going towards Ace top. I think they just got it in time for Sweden Strong as well. Overall, very, very quiet start. Cloud is having a bit more of a difficult time, though, on the Primal Beast. Only 13 last hits at the moment. Creep Wave's in a pretty good position for the Dino to be able to CS relatively well under the tower, but we do see he's struggling a little bit at the moment.
Yeah, Sweden Strong is that you're going to get with the Hand of God, with the mech coming up shortly-ish for Celery, and of course just the DK with the Worm's Wrath.
What do we want to see out of the DK in particular? Bellagio again is, we saw that one death prior. Okay, mid lane, Quinn blows up Sweden Strong. This time the damage isn't going to be an issue, but Quinn Oh boy, just disjoints the Storm Hammer. And, I mean, we are seeing
There we go.
gives him the tip back.
I mean, it was a 4-kill streak as well, so that's a nice little injection of gold there coming through for Quinn, who, by the way, go on the Dagon. So, you know, if you are going to be the one jumping in, making sure that you're getting value out of the bondage innate ability, just having a little bit of that spell lifesteal coming through is going to be incredibly effective at just prolonging your life in a lot of these things. You can even see from the Ironwood tree, right? It's just stats that he wants at this point.
Back to the discussion of the carries, we do see Dyrachyo is able to clean up a stack over at the triangle, and still there are no stacks that have been made for 1W. This was a thing earlier with Celery dropping the sentry down, preventing that. I don't think they have tried anyways, so we do see this network lead continuing to go slightly into the favor of Dyrachyo. Will be the Sunj as his next item, and when do we want to see him kind of start to join some of the fights? Because we know the Sven, could be like a blink next item for Munkushi to get involved. What about the Dragonite? When do we feel like Dyrachyo is going to want to start to show up to some of these early fights?
Let's have a look at what he's getting close to. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, hold on, bottom side, Swedenstrong's going to be able to get away. Once he's got the Sanj, I wouldn't hate it, just because that's probably going to synergize fairly well with Celery getting the mech and Ace having the Blink Dagger, I believe, coming out to him right now. So they've got a bit of a timing here around that 14-minute mark to potentially make a play on Gaming Gladiators.
Do you have a preference on
playing the Celery game right now? He's like looking to be the rat himself with his Enchantress. I wouldn't be surprised if he just looked at a lot of Celery replays and modeled his game after that.
It's going to be the target of this movement, though. Of course, with the high ground observer, they are well aware of how aggressive Respect is farming, but this is not an easy kill. With 4 points up in the Nature's Attendants, they will have to work for an Radiant. They're smoking over, and they're going to be fast enough to protect him and maybe get a rebuttal kill. He's still alive, and where's the team? Finally, they'll come charging into the middle as Cloud has the damage for Tofu. Quinn's going to push them back with a Sonic Wave. It's not enough, though, as Celery still gets chased down, and Ace is now stuck inside the Sprout. With a stun will fly out from Munkushi, and there's just nothing they're going to be able to do. Ace still should die under the 2-2 tower, not actually to be, as 1W will respect the potential of this Slaughter and maybe anyone else to keep him alive. Nonetheless, so we do see how tanky this Enchantress can be.
Yeah, small mistake there from Chira Jr. as well. He was standing next to the Illusion Rune while he had the Corrosive Haze on him, so could have yoinked that one away. Instead, Quinn's going to be able to get away with actually finally getting a Power Rune for himself. Enables him to stay out on the map, feel a little bit more safe to be able to just go immediately back to the lane and farm.
I like what I'm seeing, though, Dano. We got a very even game. I mean, I definitely would say even myself, I didn't have as high expectations for 1W, and I think you said, you feel like gaming the team that you feel like will come out on top here for the international, and we see at the moment 1W really bring the fight to them.
I did like the draft, though. Come on, you got to give me some credit.
Yes, of course. You did, yes. Sorry, apologies. You did say.
No, that's all right. Yeah, Respect, like, he's literally, like, it's like I'm watching Celery play right now. He's just putting himself out there, being this roaming ward, giving so much space to, potentially play alongside Swedenstrong, right? I love supports that are able to, as soon as they're 6 or as soon as they hit their timings, are able to go for a kill just with the two of them, right? And it's not just the two of them, because at any point in time, Chira Jr. can look to join in. He's got the Maelstrom now. He's building into the Glipnir as well, so a little bit more of that control that they're going to look to play around. I think they know that he's farming in this quote-unquote safe area, though, because they've made the jump.
And it's a perfect read from them, though. Chira Jr., it's going to be the second death of the game here for the Nature's Prophet. And they've got a creep wave that's, never mind, a little bit far away. It's a creep they've actually taken over, so won't be able to maybe convert that into some damage on the tower, but a really good move from them. They might be able to go mid, though. This tower doesn't have a lot of health.
Using the Co-op Illusions right now to be able to tank it up. I mean, I wouldn't hate Dyrachyo joining in, and, like I was saying, once he's got the Sanj, once they've got the mech, once they've got the Blink Dagger, they really weren't scared at all about what 1W were going to be able to throw back the other way. So that's just a good understanding of how, not necessarily like playing the player versus playing the hero. When you've got a Nature's Prophet, you know that you can farm in this quote-unquote safe area because you can just TP anywhere. It wasn't safe. Gaming knew exactly where he was.
This time for Respect, it's not safe as well, so they'll get the kill. It'll take a while. Let's see. I don't know if there was any read of the Observer. They've already got a Sentry, so okay. Nice D-Ward as well, so it's going to make it a little bit more difficult for Respect to play aggressively. So we've seen Gaming Gladiators been able to offset some of the momentum that was being built from Radiant. We'll see what they want to do next. Some of their forces being drawn towards top. Ace, he's only got 1 point in the Corrosive Haze, so maybe this is still enough for them to threaten Roshan. We do see them sticking around. In fact, they're going to go down bottom once again.
Right after their ward just got dewarded as well, so clearly just thinking that maybe Chira Jr. is going to go back to the same well again, and they would be right. Although he's got some pretty good micro on his tree in here to be able to scout that one out before it reaches him. So nicely done. Just those little plays, right? Not sending the tree in just straight to the neutral camp, using it as that extra scouting potential. He's dead if not for that.
Needs to continue to stay alive because at the moment, close towards a Gleipnir, but still bottom net worth. I mean, still it's very even between everyone. So a team fight victory and they could pole vault themselves up towards the top. We are going to see a fight occur around top. Finally, Munkushi's feeling ready to go. They're running to Daracha, who maybe isn't the primary target. 2,600 health. Ooh. This is not an easy kill. Chira Jr. They're over to the north. They'll jump in over towards Tofu. They want to deal with the Rubik and turn to Ace next with the blink up shortly. We'll be able to jump down to the low ground. It looks like the TP will be successful, but they should be able to. God Strength activated with Chira Jr. here as well. It doesn't seem like there's going to be a response from Gaming Gladiators. So they were the team that wanted to fight into this objective, but it's going to be 1W that actually get the first ages of the game by the looks of it.
They were so close to being able to claim more, right? Went for the Sven stun onto the small camp just to try and get that splash stun onto the Doraccio DK, but not quite able to claim it. But I think they're going to be very, very happy to secure Roshan.
Can't they fight now? No God Strength. You might be able to force the issue. Someone's able to catch them though. Chira Jr.'s going to look for a TP out. That's a nice spot. Doraccio won't scout him out. They've got vision, however, from Sweden Strong with the time lapse already used. They'll at least get the kill onto the Weaver, which is a consolation prize, and probably this tower as well.
Okay, yeah. 1 kill, 1 tower. Feels okay, right? It doesn't feel amazing. I actually wonder if Gaming might consider just sticking around here, farming a few ancient camps and prepping for that Tormentor, because it's only coming up in about a minute or so. It's going to take them so long to be able to get down to Chira Jr. to try and go for a kill here, so they've planted their flags.
Respect. They're gone straight. They're looking to try and target down Daracha. Cloud once again with a charge through. This time do they have the damage, but the Hand of God's going to come out. Salar is falling low. They haven't addressed Quinn with the Queen of Pain untouched at the moment. Finally, the Pulverize is going to be there. Quinn's in some danger. Can he get the blink away over to the high ground? Quinn tries to escape. This is giving Daracha now some moments to be able to right-click down some of the heroes. With Chira Jr. gone, has Munkushi got the damage? Finally, God Strength is back online. They'll be able to close the distance onto Ace on the high ground, but the Slaughter only has Tofu nearby, but Tofu will snipe the Aegis. Ace surviving for much longer than expected, but he will still be killed off nonetheless inside the river. So a 2 for 2 if you include the Aegis. Not too bad, all things considering. The Munkushi didn't have God Strength for pretty much that full duration of the fight.
Yeah, I think the other thing as well is that you didn't finish your food with Celery. He got away on about 50 HP and he was able to cast Divine Favor 3 times in that fight. So providing 6 regen per second, 20 armor to a lot of these targets that you're trying to go on. And when you consider it's, a Nature's Prophet, pretty much exclusively right-click. Weaver, not that strong right-click right now, but a Sven absolutely, without the God Strength, is going to nullify a whole bunch of that damage. So the fact that they were able to get away with like a relatively even kill exchange there, I think it's not bad for 1 win, but again, I feel like it's been the case this game that it just could have been so much better. A lot of almosts coming through for me.
Yeah, we're seeing inside this replay in particular how difficult Chira Jr., his role is inside the team fights. It's very hard for you to position yourself in the Nature's Prophet. You TP into the middle, all of a sudden you've got a Slaughter jumping on top of you, you've got the Queen of Pain burst damage, you're the DK up in your face as well, and we are seeing he have some, there's a couple deaths in a row now inside some of these team fights, so we'll see if he's going to be able to continue to have some success as the game goes on. For him actually, even in particular, how should he be taking this fight? Should he be TPing last on the outskirts? Do we want to continue to see him TP in so aggressively?
I think you can, just because you are building into a lot of stuff that's going to be able to protect him, right? Like you've got the Solar Crest now on Respect, so that's going to provide a whole lot of additional safety. You're building into a Hurricane Pike for yourself. So again, just being able to Like, he was caught inside of his own Sprout that time by Tofu, I think, in that previous engagement. So just to be able to get out of a few of these things yourself is going to be such a big deal for him. I think with the Glypnir, with the even just the Dragon Lance provides a whole lot of extra survivability.
Is
From Kushi here, though. No, should be fine.
Oh, he has it. Okay, now they're all funneling towards top as well for 1W, so this should be a tier 2 tower that's going to go their way.
Still got
Meanwhile, Gaming Gladiators have some heroes on the opposite side of the map who will get the Tormentor, but we'll see without their forces kind of nearby to protect it. I think this should go down after the glyph.
Just trying to think of what you would actually want here with the Rubik. Obviously, it's not an amazing game. Like, the Ag Shard with the Warcry would be kind of nice for Tofu to be able to steal away now that he's got the Shard himself, but I think he's going to be very, very happy just to take that Shikuchi for himself. I mean, we were casted some of those China qualifiers. We saw Ponlo in particular with his Rubik. Any chance that he got, he was able to do just, you know, his role in this game to really be that durable bruiser, I guess you could say. But with those kills, he's finished up the BKB for himself. He's got Pulverize rank 3 nearly ready. So it's a lot of extra damage that they're going to have coming out very, very soon.
In regards to the itemization on Kushi, actually hold that, Chiro Jr. Ooh, okay, far out. Very nicely done. Do we like the AC from Kushi, or do we feel like you would prefer a little bit more damage out of this Fen?
Well, Chiro Jr. actually had it queued up for the longest time, and I think he's just switched into the BKB very recently. I'm sure that's probably a discussion that they're having live right now. Like, is this something that we need to give to him? Is this something that Munkushi needs? Because he's not really short on durability himself, right, as the Sven. You know, you can pop the Warcry, you can be A-OK. But for the Nature's Prophet, I'm feeling a little bit more anxious about that sort of thing, right? It's not the old NP where the teleport, you know, gave you a bunch of damage and then converted into armor. It's just a flat 250 barrier, which is nothing at this stage of the game. Okay. It seems like they're fully willing to just commit to him as the full-on glass cannon. I guess with the Vindicator's Axe, he can feel a little bit better about things. You know, that plus 20 armor if he's stunned, and they've got a few stuns on GG.
Stuns are starting to move towards bottom, Sweding strong. A bit of a pest trying to shove out the wave. There is a creep that has made it towards the tier 2 tower. Duracho should make quick work of this objective. Still have ages for another 10 seconds, which will result in that last outer tower going their way.
He's played pretty well as Sweden Strong. In 9, 4, and 6, he's level 17. He's built into an Atos for himself. Looks like he's going for the Lotus Orb because they are very single target focused, particularly with those stuns that we were talking about. They're going to need to defend that tier 1 tower a little bit. And like you said, Aegis reclaimed, so it's like GG feel that they've got enough out of this. What's Duracho got coming out to him now? Has he got the Satanic finished already? God damn. Man is farmed.
So, yeah. Yeah, his boy is huge. 24. Looks like he's going to buy the recipe for the Aghanim Scepter as well to free up an item slot. You do see, like, here's the thing though. He has pretty much all the net worth advantage here for Gaming Gladiators. So if he's unable to right click inside some of the team fight, I don't think the game plan ever is to go for Duracho, right? Because we've kind of seen the success has been deal with the support. So we'll see. How do the fights need to look differently as well for GG? Because the last one in particular was they just sniped Quinn, and then without the damage from Quinn, you were saying the fight just looked a bit different.
Yeah, I think you got to just dangle the right sort of heroes on the front lines, right? And it's really just going to depend what... Sorry, I'm looking at Tofu nearly dying to the Tormentor. It's really just going to depend on what tools you have. Like, if Tofu has the Shikuchi, it can be him, you know? He's got the Dandelion Amulet. He's got the Solar Crest for himself. He's, you know, got a Chen to be able to help him out a little bit. You don't want the Chen to be jumped on first. You probably just can put the DK out there, right? And force them to commit onto you. I mean, you've already taken all tier 2 towers, so maybe it's even just going to be a game of waiting for the next Roshan, getting a free... What will it be? You know, refresher, Ags, whatever it is. Like, it's just going to advantage GG so much more to enable that high ground push and just playing around Duracho. Basically force them to respond to him rather than avoid him entirely. Which
is something we have seen so far they haven't really done. You know, that top tier 3 tower went down up top very easily. Ace, I'm going to scout out Sweden strong, but as time to already get the time lapse away, he's fine. Yeah, we did see, of course, some of the other towers and even mid when he was starting to beat into it. You know, 1W didn't really want to do anything versus Duracho, so they do get that Aegis and they do get that opportunity to group up. Could be some trouble. It does look like we're going to start to see GG start to play together.
I mean, they're just trying to buff up Dyrachyo as much as possible now, right? Like you said, basically all of the net worth is on him, but who cares, you know? Like, he hasn't gone for the AoE Dragon Tail just because 1W...
Cloud mid lane tried to try and kill the wave, and now he's in a lot of trouble. The BKB, is it going to be enough? So oh, he ran into the trees, Cloud! What? He could have kept running. He's going to try and TP out. Will he escape? Do they see him, Cloud? He makes it out. Now, respect. I don't think he's going to be able to make it out. Looks for the sprint down to the low ground, but Dyrachyo can hunt him. This is a kill right in front of the tower. They can lead this into objectives. That is a big mistake from 1W, and GG are a team that you give them this opportunity, they will punish you.
Is that Glyph is going to be able to deal with the siege creep wave right now? Sweden Jong just sending out a few of those beetles as well, but it's not going to hold them back again. Dyrachyo, he's got the extra regen. He's got a solar crest for himself. Just rally around him. Why not?
They're going to try and fight. Sweden Strong is looking for the supports in the backline. Meon Cloud and Makushi smoking all the way around. Look at the vision Sweden Strong has provided them. Quinn tries to disrupt with the blink in. Mankushi targeting down with the Queen of Pain, stuck inside the Sprout with the leash. Mankushi finally able to get the right clicks out. Is it enough? Quinn falling low with the blink. It's not going to be there in time. Eyes on Dyrachyo. What he's going to be able to do with the stun look. It is perfect. Or is it Sweden Strong? Time lapse out of the last second. Chiro Jr. also looking for the TP. Ace, has he got the stun? A millisecond short. He's going to be able to escape as well, but they may just go back to the higher ground here on GG.
Yeah, you've used a lot of your tools right now. You don't have the time lapse for 20 seconds. Most importantly, though, you don't have the Sven. Like, what is stopping them from just hitting into a lot of these towers? Chiro Jr. putting himself out there just because there is no one else right now, and we very rarely say Dyrachyo is hard carrying this game, but
they found
man
Tofu
is doing it.
Cloud now in the middle of the team fight. Chiro Jr. being able to right click freely. Ace, they'll be able to deal with the starter. Cloud might be able to stay alive as well, but the force half close to the base. No, they get the crits. Cloud at least is a buyback. Sweden strong time lapse in, but Sentry already laid down and a quick response from Tofu's telekinesis.
I don't think you could ask for a better start to a tournament than this for GG, right? Like, they have just done amazingly well. Even just with the Aghanim's blessing on Dyrachyo, he doesn't care about the Sprout. He's just happy to move on forward. Look at him! Look how tanky!
Oh my god.
And this is just going to be mega creeps. Walk it down. It might have taken, 10, 15 minutes longer than the usual GG sort of play, but eventually they would not be denied.
Okay. Flies out. Nice leash, bro. Jiro? Sure, TP'd into the lane, but everyone else retreated over to the outpost. Makushi's going to try and tucker them down. It's a pretty decent stun onto two. Now, but the quad held into place as well. Quinn in some danger, but they're lacking the damage. And we've seen that be the case onto Dyrachyo. Dyrachyo does not care. Stands his ground. They just don't have the answers towards the Dragon Knight. He's going to go uncontested. It's only one death for him. They'll be able to deal with Tofu, but it just doesn't matter in the end. This goddamn Dragon Knight, Dyrachyo has made it look flawless so far, and they might be able to get respect. Ace is there in the nick of time. Respect will go down as well.
That should be it. A minute without two of your cores. Mega Creep's already down. Dyrachyo beyond godlike. 12, 1 and 4. It's been an amazing game for him so far, and it's just I don't even want to say it was a lack of respect. Again, it was just that the lack of a killer instinct, I guess you could say, from 1W, right? It's most of their first TIs. They just want to be able to do the safe thing, but oftentimes the safe thing isn't going to get you the win.
Which the it is not.
Out,
but it's not going to matter.
A matter of 30 seconds to be able to secure it all. They just want to, feels like, have a bit of a party here. Dyrachyo's feeling himself a little bit. He doesn't want to hit towers. He wants to kill people. He feels unkillable.
Look at Ace. Okay, he was hitting the T4 tower. I wanted to jump in, enjoy the fun, but the G's going to be dropped as well. So, yeah, GG going to be able to take game one. They had to work for it in the end. 39 minutes, and it's a relatively early victory, all things considering, but this game was very, very close, and 1W, are there any takeaways from them? I don't know if I should even lead with this, because you're always your props to Gaming Gladiators and what they're able to do to get the victory, but